Welcome back, everybody, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded series. Today is going to be a MAMMON run, continuing our Retribution deep dive into this new content mod. This character seems to have another thing, much like Icarus, having a passive item called Meat Grinder, maybe, a Spoils Pouch, and Curse of Swine. Again, I have absolutely no idea what any of those words mean. Oh, Meat Grinder is a pocket passive, or a pocket active, and Spoils Pouch is the passive this. Okay, you know what? I was wrong. I'll admit it. Seed is going to be SEH93TYA. I kind of want to... I'll use it. Oh, it spawns the beggar we saw in a couple days ago's run, who occasionally can give you an item, and I think capsules that can increase your stats just like raw. We got a luck capsule on the last run. The luck capsule gave us a +1 flat luck, which is a pretty big improvement, and it looks like enemies also seem to just drop coins as well. Spinning coins? We saw those in yesterday's run as well, but they... don't seem like they do a whole lot besides just give you one. I wonder if you can't get items as this character. You might just have to play the beggars to get the raw stat increases, but at that point, is this just... Oh, and we do get items. I was wrong once again. Hey, a pretty good item for our naturally high damage as well, to kind of turn that into tier rate and get some pretty baller stats on floor 1 here. Speed down's not that great, but from what I understand so far, we might not be able to get item room items. Oh, that was dumb. And we might just only be able to get items from the beggars that we saw, the Mammon pig beggars, and they can give you stats, and I think they can also drop items on their third or fourth payment. So it's going to be interesting. I had a great time with Icarus, thought it was an amazing character. A little bit annoying in the late game with the whole losing your wax wings thing pretty early on, but you know what, that was my own fault, I think, for sure. But either way, excited to see what Mammon has to offer. What I wanted to talk about today, however, is I've been, buying a lot of music recently, physical media, mainly because I'm with them just now taking Kanye off Spotify, I'm oh man, if my favorite band does something stupid and all their music is gone, I still want to have an easy way to listen to them at home. So I've been buying a lot of vinyl records from my record player, a couple of CDs as well, and just in general merch. And of those bands, one of my... I don't want to say my favorite, they're not really my favorite band at all, but a band I've liked for a long time had an album come out recently, and it was co-produced by Jack Antonoff, who is I think he's the frontman of the Bleachers band, who are pretty basic as all thing goes. It's just inoffensive pop music. They wrote I Want to Get Better, and I think they also wrote Alfie's Song is what it's called, I think, but overall, they're a very just basic pop group. And the frontman of that group, Jack Antonoff, has been producing quite a lot of albums recently. Oh, we do get items in the shops as well, huh? I do want to buy this. He most, I think, famously produced the new Taylor Swift Midnight's album, and he also produced the new 1975 album, which is a band that has a lot of misses and a lot of hits. They're a very sporadic band. And I've been a fan of them for a long time, ever since freshman year of high school. I've kind of grown up listening to all their albums come out and, being around for the releases and the drops. And they're a very I guess I know the band very well. I've been involved in a lot of their stuff. Oh, I was correct. There's also a piggy in here. I feel bad murdering him, but a man's got to do what a man's got to do, right? But I've been following the band for quite some time. What the heck? Massive Amethyst. Shopkeepers are replaced by rune clusters. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that, actually. Give me that. Hey, a tier capsule. So we pop this and we get... Yeah, okay. I need 5 more cents for you. My nose is so itchy, I apologize. I am tempted to blow up the machine, but I think first order of business is you try to look for a secret room, because the machine could pay you back much more in the future of the run. Whereas I feel ooh, where could it be? If not up, it could be right here. Okay. It could be adjacent to something in this room. I'll try here. And I guess we'll try here. If it's not here, it was probably next to the sacrifice room. Yeah. All right. Well, that kind of stinks. Maybe I can use this bomb for... what could you even give me here? That's right, absolutely nothing. There go all of our bombs early on here. That's okay, though. We don't necessarily need to... Oh, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. We get one more try here. Ouch, later on. Cost us a lot of bit of HP, but that's okay, honestly. As long as I have the chance to get more items as this character. But I'm a big fan of this band. I know they're not the greatest. They have some pretty basic hits as well, nothing like too crazy. But they also have a couple of songs that I think are pretty artistically creative, and ones that I think I'm not ashamed to enjoy. With a lot of popular bands, I hate this champion so much. With a lot of popular bands, I find myself like being almost not embarrassed, but like less inclined to like their super popular stuff, mainly because it's just like, well, I want to be seen as like a deeper fan of this. I've moved away from that mindset in recent times quite a bit, but I used to be like that a lot when it came to, you know, big hits or big singles from these groups that I really, really enjoyed. But the 1975 is always one of those bands where it's like, even their big songs, I think I really, really enjoy. Bloody Sandpaper. Oh. I don't really like this. This is like... I'm used to having movement momentum, so doing that kind of throws it all out of whack. And then we can, I think, officially find our secret room right here. It can't be anywhere else, I don't think. No, it had to be right here. And that's one of the amethyst clusters. We can use one bomb to get a rune from it. Hopefully like a Dagaz, maybe. Soul of Judas. Soul of Bethany's pretty good. We can take the Soul of Judas. What if we do this? Okay, that's an AWAS right there. Let's bomb this. I do want to see if we can get an item out of our beggar on this floor, if permitting. We might have wanted to save that for the end or like later game, but I think we can get a similar benefit from doing this, and we get glowing hourglass. Yeah, that was definitely super worth it for us. Okay, moving on down with quite a lot of stats and quite a lot of items to show for our effort on that first floor there. But like TLDR, I really do enjoy this band. And I think one of their big, I don't want to say claims to fame, but one of my favorite things about the band is that they're self-made. You know, they don't do a lot of like features, they don't do a lot of collaborations. They tend to stick to I think they're a four-man piece. They at least were a four-man piece for a while. And they've had their own producers. The lead singer, Matty Healy, has produced a couple of their albums himself as well. So they've been around the block. And if nothing else, even on their worst songs, their production style is still recognizable. Which is why it was very surprising when they announced that Antonov would be producing for them. Because Antonov really isn't like, he's a good producer. I'm not going to say he's a bad producer at all. He's very, very good. But he has a style that I don't think would mesh with the band very well. He is much more of like that was scary, much more of like a regular pop artist. Like, you know, your 4-chord, Taylor Swift type stuff. Like, he did produce for Taylor Swift recently. He's not, you know, really, I wouldn't consider him indie, I guess, or like with the indie rock sound. But I was cautiously optimistic, thinking like, okay, well, this could be interesting. Because Matty he's an interesting guy. He can bring out a lot of weird ideas to life. And maybe he saw something in Jack that could have helped that. I should be popping this meat grinder down more. But I wanted to see if it's like item pool dependent. Like if I pop it down in a secret room, if we'll get a secret room item. Because I know last run we got Eye of Greed from a secret room Mammon beggar, which makes me think that it maybe has some effect over the drop we'll get. That's pretty good for us. I like that a lot. Grants the player 2 broken hearts, but duplicates everything in the room. It's a really good item. The Job stuff is always fun to mess around with. Oh, please. I will take all the black hearts. Thank you very much. We get a rune shard. We get an AWAS we can use right here to get a trap door. And we get a small little Hagalaz and a Tears Up. This run is going fantastic, man. I don't really care for anything back there. But it was just overall a very like weird thing to hear, and one that I was a little bit excited to see what it could produce. And the album's fine. Like, it's not bad. But I'm not a big fan of it. I think if I was ranking all of their albums, it might be my least favorite. Now, normally with like recently released music for me, it goes one of two ways. Either I really, really enjoy it because of recency bias, or I'm not too fond of it because I haven't heard it that many times over, and I haven't, grown to appreciate it yet. And I think that's the latter with this album, because like it's much more of like a dance funk thing, where they've mostly been, their first album was very like your regular boring indie pop rock. It wasn't anything special at all. Their second album had a lot more flair to it, I think. What is this, half? Oh. One black heart. Black hearts trigger their on depletion effect when only partially damaged. We can give this a shot. I think it's fine. So these guys only take 3 cents to pay out. Okay. I'm understanding the character a bit better. I'm getting a handle on my boy over here. Let's go into the arcade. We have a lot of red hearts we can be spending on this floor. And another beggar we can also pay out. Oh my god, a golden penny? You're joking. You're joshing with me right now. We kind of just have like the negative right now, it feels like. Item? We get spiders and flies. Not my first choice, but still it's okay. The more items we get early game, I think the longer we'll keep the momentum going as we go on here, which will be, obviously, as most runs go, pretty decent for us. I just want to get stocked up early so that we take less damage in our caves and depths floors, and then just have a higher chance of getting better rewards down the line. And this arcade is going to do most of that for us, I think. There is a sticky nickel right here. So if I can make this machine blow up, that's a great dime. We'll get an extra 5 cents or an extra play on the beggar as well. We have 3 plays right now. Anything good? Okay, more of that. Turnip. What does that mean? Mimics a stock market pattern with your coins over the first 7 rooms on a floor after gaining. Rots after 7 rooms or if dropped. What? Okay, I guess that makes no sense. What the hell is a stock market? I'm very confused, but I guess I can take it and see where the road leads us. I think it is just going to give us like more money. That's what I'm talking about. Bee skin? Sure. I don't even want to read what the bee skin does. I'll just take it, and then we'll finally... That's the wrong room. We'll finally head on down here. Going a little bit slow, I'll admit. We're going just the tiniest bit slow. But their first album is nothing special. There's some decent ambiance on it. There's in like the later half of the album, I think it might only be on the deluxe edition too, where that ambience is found. But there's some cool ideas, but it's nothing groundbreaking. Their second album really doubled down on that ambiance. It kind of was like dance pop a little bit, and I really, really enjoyed that about it. I had a great time with that album. And their third album was another hit or miss. There were some really, really good tracks. I'd love it if we made it on there. A decent interlude as well, I will say. One that I thought was a bit cheesy, but it fit the album well. Got a couple of really nice acoustic ballads that I thought were very saddening and very emotional. Overall, like another good album. Experimental a little bit for the band, but still pretty good. And then they had their fourth album come out, which is the most divisive of all 5, easily. It's very messy. It's paced horribly. But it's good. Like the individual songs on there are some of their best work. They delve into a little bit of folk, country, and like in track 3. The opening track is very punk. It's the hardest the band has gone in that direction ever. It's very political too, in a lot of aspects as well, which is something that I think is hard to accomplish in music and do right, but they did a decent job, I would say. I really enjoyed that album a lot for what it was. It is not good to listen to, all in one sitting or all the way through. It's very long. But if you pick your individual favorite songs, you're going to have a whole nice list there because there's a lot of bangers. And I was excited to see where they would go next because when you put something like that album, we're going to call Notes for short. The full album's name is Notes on a Conditional Form, but we're going to call it Notes for short. When you put out an album like Notes that is very diverse, like covers a lot of genres, a little bit of country, a little bit of punk, a little bit of, again, dance pop, more modern indie with, like, what's that one called? If You're Too Shy, like a little bit of just everything on there. It kind of leaves the future of the band as like a wild card. Very unsure, very just, you don't know what's going to come next. And I was really excited to see if we'd have another, variety album like that one, or if we go back to a more cohesive feel and what that feel would be. And I will say the new album, I think it's called Being Funny in a Foreign Language. It is very cohesive. I think it's paced really well. I think it's the perfect length. It's like 43 minutes long, so it's a good album length. And the sound is generally consistent all the way through, which are the marks of a solid album. But I don't really come to this band to hear similar sounds all the way through. I like how diverse they've been in the past with filtering in acoustic stuff in the middle of their, indie synth record. Or, a punk song going right into some ambience. Like, I like that kind of diversity. And to have this album kind of just be a similar sound for most of the way through, as a longer time fan of the band, it was a little bit, of a letdown. Oh, our tears are very tiny. Prank Cookie. Bob's Heart. It does buffer accidental self-damage. And it's a new item, so you might as well go for it. Why not, right? Why not? But it was just like, it felt... My first impression was the sound wasn't for me. It's very overproduced to an extent where, like, it just feels too glossy. When music gets a little bit too glossy for me, I think it loses a bit of the feeling. This is a personal thing. I'm not saying it's like, true for every album or song, but I think one of the big issues with like general radio pop is that it's overproduced. It doesn't leave a lot of room for mistake or for intentional deviation. And because of it being so perfected, it doesn't feel like a person wrote it. It feels like it was, generated to be ideal for your ears. There's no emotion inside of it. When music is a lot more raw and unfiltered is when I think you find an attachment to a song, and you find kind of like what works for you. And this one for this band felt overproduced. There wasn't a lot of like stylistic deviation, like it was just the same thing all around. And even if when their stylistic stuff doesn't work properly, and they've had that happen plenty of times in the past, I think on their third album most notably, but even when it falls flat, they're still making an effort to be a bit unique and to be a bit different, and it's interesting either way. It's the same thing with like a movie. It's like a 6 out of 10 movie. It's not the greatest thing you've ever seen, but they're trying to do something different. They're trying to deviate from that formula or from the norm, and it makes it interesting to watch. May not be the best thing you've ever seen or heard, but it's at least like endearing in that quality. And maybe after a while, those weird and normally not great changes might grow on you and lead to a very, I guess, like personal experience. You don't really get that same feel in this album. You can't really have a personal experience with it because every song sounds like it could just be played on the radio. It doesn't feel like it's personal. It feels very much commercialized. And there are some good acoustic tracks on this one too. And there are some decent, moments, I would say, on the record. But in general, I think lyrically it falls pretty short. Lots of cum jokes, which That was another one of my complaints, to go into a small spiel here. The band's growing older. They've made plenty of songs about sex in the past, and there's some they have a song called Sex, and it's an absolute banger. But with him, like, he's like, what, 36 now? At a certain point, you gotta stop singing about cum and start making songs about, you know, paying off a second mortgage or something. I wanted something a bit more mature. I wanted to hear him, you know, more, I guess just the word I could think of is mature. I wanted to hear him talk about issues he's having as an adult and not just the same exact thing he's been singing about for the past 17 years or so. It's been shorter than that, but it feels like, you know, this song could have been written by a high schooler. There's like lines about how he'll, you know, he misses seeing a girl he's with, so he'll just go home and like masturbate. Which, like, sure, I guess you can find some kind of meaning in that, but overall, I mean, I would have rather had a song dedicated to how it is going away from your youth, you know, what I'll experience in about like a decade's time as well. I want stuff that's gonna feel like he is growing up with his music. It feels like he's growing up, but he's not musically changing. It's like when you watch, like, you know, this is a lot of self-damage, man. Like when they said a buffer, I was thinking like, you know, a buffer, not just like it's one familiar behind you. I should have not taken this item for sure. But it feels like he's just singing about the same stuff he's been singing about since the first record. Which... Game crash? Alright, I've made it back to where we were. I'm not going to walk into that room. What I'm going to do instead to compensate for not... Oh, we get money from that. So why don't I just, like... Spawn penny. That works. I'll just give myself, like... It gives you, like, usually, like 12. I'll just do 6 pennies. I mean, we just won't walk into that room because apparently there's something in there causing a game crash. So I think we'll just skip that and just give ourselves like half the money as compensation for not spending a key on that room, which I think is a fair trade nonetheless. But as I was saying, it just feels weird to like know this person is growing older, but still making music about the same exact experience over and over. And it's like, it's from the same perspective too. He's not like reflecting on it from an older, you know, point of view. It's the same thing. It's like if he was still 17 thinking about this. And I really wish that there was just something more to substantially hold on to there. What is this? Passively. Item pedestals re-roll when you touch them. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that for now. I kind of like having Job's leper flesh. That to me is a bit more of a fun one. If we get the right items, we can duplicate it and get double. If we get like a syringe in the boss fight, I'll definitely duplicate that. That's two parts spun. If it's growth hormones or synth oil, it's 2 times the damage up and 2 parts spun. Did we have a guy back here? I think we had a guy back here. Oh no, the guy gave us Epiphora. Okay, we can spawn another guy. And it does take from the same pool, so we do want to look for a secret room if we possibly can, correct? Perfect. I'll grind some meat in here. Okay, we get Tear Capsule, nice. And then we get Book of Mormon. Oh, I don't really feel like messing with Book of Mormon. I'll be quite frank. It may just be weighted towards the same pool. In the same way that like an item like Lemmigatawan is, where it's like a 25% chance it takes from that same pool or whatever. But I don't know. The album to me was a letdown mainly because it just didn't give me what I come to the band for, and it didn't really give me a new perspective on who the singer is as a person or what they're writing about. It just felt like a rehashing of their second album. It felt like it was just taking the ideas and reusing them. I am going to go back and listen to it all the way through a couple more times, and maybe I'll come back to you guys with a changed opinion, but it doesn't really leave me feeling like, oh, I really want to see what's coming next, in the same way that Notes did, where that one was like, I am really curious to hear their next project, whereas now it's like I'll listen to it, but I'm not, you know, convinced quite yet, I guess. Let's just go fight the boss, if that makes sense to you guys. I know it's gonna sound like I'm being just a bit of a, what would the word, like pretentious about it, but I like this band a lot, and I really want to see something new come out of what they do. It's just, it hasn't been happening recently, and I think getting a co-producer on the album was like that. I don't necessarily know if I come to the band for like a lyrical presence or not. I think it's just because they always have like a different sound, and you take away that sound and you don't really give me much to go off of lyrically, it doesn't lead to the greatest project. Multi-baby, I'm not going to double that. No, thank you. We have no more meat grinders on the floor. We could do a couple more rooms to get an extra item, but I think I'm just satisfied moving on down here. So I haven't been seeing this turnip item do anything for us, so I'm just going to drop it, and we'll just take what we got from that man right there and keep going on here. I don't know if it's affecting the money we're getting or not. I couldn't really understand what the item was trying to say. I'm sure I'm just being stupid, so that's probably my bad, but if I don't understand it, I'm not going to try to run with it for super, super duper long here. But to go back on the train of just Jack in general, I'm not a big Bleachers fan. There's only 2 songs that I really know by the band that I could, name, and that would be I Want to Get Better and Alfie's song. But I'm not really like attached to either of those. I mean, they've always felt like it's just heavily commercialized. They're not really making music to vent. They're just making music to get a paycheck, which is fine. I mean, that's everybody has their own way of making money when they're for a job. Like, I'm not gonna fault them for that, but I just look for a little bit more in my music, I think, than what they provide. Not in like they don't do enough, but more in just it's not for me. This particular genre is really not in my wheelhouse. And I guess the biggest thing is with that band is that I really think that guest producers can be good. I like when albums get like, hey, we have X person is going to produce this track on our album because it has a bunch of features and I want it to stand out as like a single. That makes sense. I feel like somebody else from a different band co-producing your entire record, that unless it's like, you guys have collaborated a ton in the past and you know each other's styles and like what's going on in your projects. Bleachers in 1975 have never done anything together. From what I understand, they've never had a single song together, a tour, anything. It's always been they've been separate. And I feel like it just takes a lot more than listening to the music to understand how an artist works. Like, I don't think that, Jack listening to all their albums is going to give him an idea. It'll give him an idea of what they want to go for, but I feel like working with them on a smaller scale first would help ease in that style a bit more. That's just me, I think. Hyperopia? Okay. Yeah. Watch this, though. We're so good. I don't know. I just think it wasn't, like, handled the best. From what I've read about, like, the articles from the band and their whole process, it just feels like the band of the 1975, it's a group of friends, namely, from I think high school. They've been working together on music for years and years now. They understand each other's shortcomings and strengths and all that. I don't think that working on one album like Antonov did with them is enough to really produce an entire record. Like, I think you need to do something before that point, just to get that feel. Now, it's been in the works for a while. Notes came out just about 2 years ago, I think, at this point. So this album's been in the works for a long time. I get that. And I'm sure they did, the best they could with it. And they are happy with their product, and that's fine. A lot of fans really enjoy the record. It's just, I don't know what it is for me. And I'm just kind of trying to spitball and figure out what it might be for me. And why I'm not, liking this as much as the last person is. I'm just trying to figure out what it might be. And I think it is just the fact, I don't think they were very attuned. I don't like, it's very, like, it just sounds like it's a musical number for parts of it. The first single they released, I forget what it was called, but it genuinely sounded like it could have belonged in, like, Hamilton or some shit. It just didn't really sit with me. Like, it was like, this just feels, I don't like how, how it's produced. I don't like how it's everything about it. Lyrically, it wasn't good. The vocals were fine. I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular, but the flair the band had was gone. But, you know, Jack himself, I'm not a big Bleachers fan, and he went on to produce the new Taylor Swift album, which I, again, wasn't really big on. I'm not a huge Swiftie. I like a lot. I like, and I mean I just somewhat enjoy her older stuff a lot, because I grew up with it, and I thought that Folklore and Evermore, which were her two previous records, I thought they were good. I think she gets a lot of praise unwarranted. I don't think Taylor is like a super special artist. Like she gets a lot of praise because she's been doing it for a long time, and she's had a lot of hit singles, but people expect a lot from her, and every time they're kind of let down. And Folklore and Evermore, they were big steps up for her, and this new album, Midnights, was a big step down for her. Okay. What are we doing here, Piggy? I'll go for the money. Best choice scenario, I think. But this album was definitely a step down for her, lyrically, production-wise, and everything. And I'm not going to blame Jack Antonoff for that. Grants a black card on use? Okay, goodbye. I'm not going to obviously blame Jack Antonoff for that, because he can only do so much as a producer. But the last two records he's produced from bands that I mildly to greatly enjoy, I haven't liked. I think Bleachers fans will like these records. I don't think core fans will enjoy these. I think he's very much producing for a Bleachers album, and that's the issue. It doesn't sound like he's making a record for the 1975. He says he's just making Bleachers music with somebody else singing. It's not a good way to go about it, in my eyes. And I'm obvious. Oh, what does this do for us? You know what? Let's. How is it? It's not very good. Don't do it. And obviously, I'm not a musician. I don't know too much about it or the process or anything like that. So what I'm saying, take it with a big grain of salt. But it's just, I think that it could have been done a lot better in both cases. And if you're a fan of Swift or you're a fan of Matty Healy, you might not like these records just because of how much of a departure they are from these groups' normal songs and sounds and albums and all that. I am very much looking forward to the next album by 1975, but this one, you know, I'm going to just take it or leave it. Has not really made the best first impression, and I don't really expect it to get much better. I'll take this. We got like no HP on this floor to use, and we're spending so much time. We're already at what, like 40 minutes on this run? Well, 40 on the recording because it crashed. So I'm just gonna go fight the boss because we're taking a while here. This is a very slow character for sure. We have a lot of great items though. We have Piercing Tears technically. We got a tier doubler with Multi-Baby. We got great tier rate. There are spikes around the room. Were those always there? I don't think they were. But look at this. We do shred. Like we do. Oh my god, don't do that ever again. Oh, he did it again. Great. I don't know why why is that happening? Okay, well it's done. HP for our Demon Beggar? Maybe. I should have gotten more money before coming in here, but hindsight's always 20/20. Okay. Spectral Tears. You take one. I took more than 1 cent. I could pop this and get these for free. But we've gotten pretty shitty devil items the entire run. Might be our last hope here. Gimpy. Not really what I wanted to see. If our deals were better, we'd be going a lot faster. Well, I've pretty much gotten nothing on the entire floor besides one item. This run's not going very good. I spent about 2 minutes in a room just trying to clear it because my stats are no longer matching up to what the game is throwing at me here. 4 damage. Our tier rate's great, but that can only do so much when we're pushing enemies back at this high of a rate. We have a Mammon Beggar down in here, but I have no money to actually play him. I could, yeah, bomb these 2 guys and maybe get that money. Okay, 2 cents. Gotta bomb the pots then, the piggy banks. We are not faring too well right now. We're also down to practically just red hearts. And I don't really know what to do. We're not really getting enough money. Hallowed ground is great. That's a fantastic item right there. We have to get to the item without getting hit too much and hopefully get, yeah, money. Beautiful. I was going to say, get more money, hopefully, so we can play out the beggar in the secret room. Get hallowed... Oh, this is going to be great. Get hallowed ground so we can have shielding in boss fights and also tier rates faster. Homing would be great with a build. We have a lot of tiers coming out, but they're not hitting every enemy, so homing would be really, really ideal. We need one more cent still. It's not here. Could be here. And it was. Fantastic. An error room. Okay. There is a strategy we could use here. You guys don't drop money when I blow you up? Okay, at least some of you do. That was a really... I've never seen it drop 0 coins before. We need you to pay out right now. It's not really good enough. Here's like my only chance. We're gonna use Job's leper flesh in here. If we get a deal and the deal has, like, for once in our life, something actually good inside of it, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. But twice the chance to shoot that 1.5 tier. I don't know what this is doing for us. We can really only pray. I'll take Super Ball. We have a card we can get back here. I could have used the restock machine. You guys are right, but I wanted to double 2 items, believe it or not. That was my whole game plan there. All right, let's go into here. Okay. I see the meta. I'll take this so I can go twice on you. So I know I'm not wasting HP by doing this. I don't really know what my HP value is right now. That was great for that. Was a wasted heart, but still. Maybe. Okay. The flight. We needed flight because I keep forgetting I can't fly with the bee costume. Don't die on your way out. We at 1 heart. We are not. Actually, we can grab this. Oh, there's a spike rock right there. Great. That charged up the wrong item there. Okay. We are most likely not going to win this run. We have a lot of hallowed grounds. I don't know why we have 3. I think the glitched item also gave us a duplication of hallowed ground. Or it might have been like a Mongo baby kind of coding situation where it just duplicates your last familiar. But we have 3 hallowed grounds now. Box of Friends coding could have done that too. So that's reassuring for extra damage reduction. But I'm still not feeling too good about this. We have to go Polaroid now. And I think I might just want to pop the Emperor card depending on our HP on this floor. I'm going to do it. I need something here, man. Like, I don't want to, like, take too much damage on the womb floor. Oh, that was great. Oh, no. The homing is breaking the poops, so our poops don't really have much bearing on our survival anymore. Because it homed up into the boss that can't take physical damage and then broke the poops. Which is unfortunate for us. Nickel. Great. Soapbox. Extra range. We can get some stuff here, potentially. Pumpkin Mask, it's quality 1. On use, 12 soul hearts. That could be fun. We'll take a lot of damage every 60 seconds. But we'll also do a brimstone beam? Is that worth it? All right. We are living on borrowed time right now. It's going to be a longer run. One of the longer ones we've had in the past little bit. But you know what, dude? We don't really have much of a choice right now. The Brim Beam, it's only going to be a 5 damage Brimstone Beam. I took it because I don't think we're going to be taking another, you know, how long would it be? It gave us, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It gave us 6 blue hearts. It's not going to take us, it'll take us around 6 minutes to beat the rest of these floors. And if we keep gaining HP in that time as well, we're able to play more risky and go a little bit quicker too. I think in essence it was the right play, but this could backfire if we start choosing the wrong paths. I'm known to take pretty bad pathing in this game. Oh, that's new. I thought that was just a addition for the other character who has harder enemies. I guess it's just one of the harder champion pattern mods I have installed. I just forgot that I use. I'm gonna guess up. All right, we're on a great path right now. Bombs are your best friend. You walk into a room, it's gonna take you a while. You just bomb out of it. 5 damage on the womb. One of those examples is perfect right here. 5 damage on the womb is never a place you want to be, but 5 damage on Cathedral is an even worse place. So I'm gonna try to save a lot of those bombs for next floor. I don't know. Oh, that's what hit me. Okay, we chose the wrong way. Well, we have this mod at least. How is the entire left side of that map leading to Jack, dude? There should be a mod that just says, fuck you, game. Every floor after depth, you just get the mine. This is the wrong way. It's down. Please? It's down? Oh, you know, I love my womb floors, ladies and gents. This mask thing has given us a lot of HP back, though. Got to appreciate that. Oh, we got hit. How terribly sad. Oh. I mean, I guess it could be good for us because it deals damage. Damage dealing is good, but chest with leper's flesh, that could be, you know, our final saving grace. So I'm gonna keep the leper. Is this the wrong way? No, there's doors over here. I'm gonna keep the leper flesh because on the chest, if we can double everything on there, either get 8 items or get duplicates of the 4 items. Personally, I think that's a bit more valuable than, you know, kill the next 2 bosses quickly. Or quicker, I should say. It's not guaranteed to be a quick fight regardless. That's good. We already paid our beggar out. We have another beggar we can use right here, though. Okay. Luck, sure. It's very minor, but it could make a difference. We won't know because we don't know how it's going to be without having that luck, so effectively, it does nothing notable for us. Boss fight, please. We are keeping a great HP value, though. I think picking up this Brimstone damage item was a net positive. I think it's been doing more than I would have thought. I think, do we have the item that gives us, yeah, we have the Blackheart thing, too. I think taking damage automatically activates a Blackheart effect, like the negative does. So it's a decent synergy with what we have going on, too. I can't be too mad about that. You don't take damage. What? Now you do. That was really, really weird. I thought you would take damage like a normal enemy, but you might be different for some reason. Might have just been a bug as well. Has not been the most effective run. Okay. Sure. Yeah, but our tears just go everywhere, so they break the holy ground so quickly. It's a very tiny buff for us. You guys take normal damage. That's nice. Okay, we get a devil deal. Screw it. Great. Don't know what that does. We have a lot of HP now, though. I don't know what half the items we picked up do. It was an opportune moment to use Leper's Flesh, though, so I had to take it. Now we have the bombing floor. We choose a direction, we're just going to pray. You can walk over pits. Honestly, I had zero clue until just now. That's probably all. I've seen that champion before, so that's probably all my fault. I'm just being a goofball. You know what? Only one way out of here. Goodbye. I think we might have chose... Uh-oh. We might have chose, like, the right way to go here. Oh, Bobby. I think we chose the proper way. I know it's hard to believe watching a BD1P video when he chose the right way to go in Isaac, but it may be more likely than you think. All right, well, that was very, very short-lived for us. And this might have sealed our fate as to dying, because we're losing HP at an astounding rate right now. I will say one of the hits I don't agree with, that being the one where the enemy just didn't want to take damage last floor. What am I... I can cheat. Why am I not cheating? I could just cheat out of this room. You charge now? Holy shit, dude. The Haunt's got some major buffs. Here's the good thing. If we take damage from the 60-second timer, we get Polaroid. So we can walk into... We have like a mini orbital we can use when that happens. You can't hit me because I shoot too quickly for you. Temperance. Hoping for an Emperor card. Did not get it. Is it up? Okay. It's not up. That kind of sucks. Just make a little bit harder life for me. Back up, kid. I wanted these, and I did not get any of them. We're going to cheat, and we're going to go down. If this is also the wrong way, I might just accept my fate and die. I don't know if there's a single player in the world who chooses wrong more than I do with these pathings. It's almost comical. Gimpy, thank you, at this point. Gimpy's also doing a lot for the run. Don't deny the power of Gimpy. He's been giving us a lot of soul hearts. We take some dumb damage, even paying back a couple of those hearts when the 60-second timer runs out. So Gimpy, I have to thank you, my good friend. You know what, dude? Get me out of here. I know I'm going the right way. I'm going to manifest it. I'm going the proper direction. Isaac. Please, please, please. Thank you. I forgot Monstro has no hitbox when he's like that, so I could have just walked over there at any time. Wait, why am I popping this? It makes you take damage. I should remember that. I know it's been doing it the entire run, but before it was worth it, now it is no longer worth it. I told you. What is happening? What are you? So much HP on that lad. I had to like stand in his face and use my F4 just to kill him. Probably it's just our damage being this bad, but... Alright, we have 3 hearts against Isaac with 4 damage. Okay, I walked directly into that shot. Tactical, though? Even with the holy hallowed grounds, we did nothing there. What's up with that? I also can't tell what tiers are mine and his. The timer will hit us soon. Just wait for it and then use your Polaroid. We're not winning the run. This is a free loss. We have maximum, like a minute and a half to beat next floor. Unless next floor's chests are like very, very good to us. This fight might take us 2 minutes to beat. We're getting there. Here comes the pain. All right, Isaac is dead. I'm gonna go for one more room. I don't know what any of these enemies do. Okay. I'm almost gonna pop Leper's Flesh right away. It doesn't... Okay, it didn't use it at least. Double? We're gonna use... This is used to pay us forward in the next run. Use Testament. What do you want? Flight? Polaroid? I guess you want to take Goat Head for next run. You know, I'll take Flight. Because we're going to die in like 10 seconds, dude. I'll just take Flight. Give me... Time is of the essence right now, video game. I can take 2. I can do 2 items. Hold on. I can get 2 items next run. Flight and Goat Head. Now we're gonna be like a Zazel, but better next run. We're gonna die soon. It's been real. I could not have doubled again. That's fine. Just take them and pray. I forgot it hurt you. Well, I enjoyed the character quite a lot. Just an unfortunate circumstance in that run. I think we made the right choices to take the items that hurt us, but we just didn't choose the right paths in the last couple of floors. It's all right. It happens. If you enjoyed the video and my commentary, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. We're going to get Goathead and Lord of the Pit on the next run, so, I mean, that helps a lot. But, hey, I've been BD1P. Peace out, and goodbye.